Hi, my name is Nettie. I am the Director of Marketing and Enrollment here at MedTech Corp. And so I'm going to go over with you now everything that you need to know about marketing to and enrolling your potential accounts. I'll be working closely with you through at least your first month until you're able to establish your first account. And so any questions that you have following this training video, you can direct towards me. For step 1 of your training, we'll go over our in-network laboratory services, the onboarding process, and finally prospecting and organizing your leads. After the video, please take and submit your certification test, for which the link can be found in the email which also contains this video. Once we receive notification that you've taken the test, you'll be marked as active. So these are our in-network lab services. I'll get to exactly what it means to be in-network in just a moment, but for now, we're going to talk about our services, which include allergy testing, blood wellness testing, pharmacogenetics, and medication monitoring. We're currently negotiating for cancer screening as well, and cystic fibrosis and prenatal screening are currently in beta. So allergy testing, the test that we do is a blood test. It's not a scratch test. If any of you are familiar with allergy testing, you're probably more familiar with the scratch test. We use what's called the Hitachi platform. This divides allergens into both inhalant types and food types. It also offers regional testing based on the location of the patient. So the tests for the allergy, it tests for the allergies that are most prominent in the area of the patient. So this also provides ancillary opportunity for the physician practice in the form of an additional visit. So the physician will be able to schedule for the patient an additional visit for the reading of the results. This could also mean a treatment plan where the practice could be gaining a new patient in need of weekly or monthly treatments depending on what the results are for the patient. So the allergy testing paperwork and onboarding process is as follows. What's needed for the allergy lab accounts are these 4 forms. These first 3 that you see are needed for every single account. So these 3 are going to be needed for every single, it doesn't matter which one of the services the physician is signing up for. So I'm going to go over these documents with you at this time. The physician's signature record form. So basically to find this paperwork, you're going to go to lab paperwork in the sales portal. Okay? And that brings you here. The physician's signature record form gives the lab permission to test each sample according to what the doctor chooses for each individual requisition form. Okay, so this is needed from every practice, every physician. And then we have the account registration form, which is basically for CLIA purposes in case of an audit. So CLIA is the certification that labs need. Every lab needs a CLIA certification. The new client information form looks like this. This is for the hospital. It's for the compliance officer to be able to run any specimens in the hospital. It asks what kind of confirmation the doctor prefers, if they prefer to be faxed, if they prefer a physical copy in the mail, etc. Okay, and then we have the blood requisition form, which looks like this. This is used both for blood wellness and also for allergy. Okay, so every requisition form must be signed by the patient here. So it comes with these 2 sheets. This is the first sheet, second sheet. This authorizes that the patient has authorized the test. So here they check what they would like to test for, or they can choose a complete panel. All right, and then they have to put in all of the insurance information here as well, ordering physician practice information. Doctors are pretty familiar with requisition forms, so it should be pretty easy for them. So the requisition form is this right here. Blood Wellness offers 10 complete metabolic profiles. These tests are available as comprehensive panel or individual tests. It's the same exact paperwork that I just showed you. So the ancillary opportunity for Blood Wellness is a lab upcode for the doctor, which means instead of the $40 or $50 that they get just for a visit, they're able to bill at an upcode, which means that they can make additional profit. So this also could mean a possible new treatment plan as well, depending on the results. So again, you see the same exact paperwork that we just went through for allergy. This is the Blood Wellness requisition form as well. So both of the blood tests use the same requisition form, just to make it easy. And here, the pharmacogenetics, this refers to genetic variations that can affect the way a person responds to drugs. And over 140 drugs are now required by the FDA to provide specific pharmacogenetic information on their package inserts because of known potential for adverse effects. So this test is becoming increasingly more popular. And let me just give an example of what this does. So we had a woman who was prescribed Adderall, and when she was given a toxicology test to monitor her behavior, all patients who are administered controlled substances such as Adderall should be monitored through toxicology tests. So she tested very high, with very high levels, as if she were abusing the substance, and she claimed to be taking the drug at the recommended dosage. So the doctor decided to give her a genetic test, and it was revealed when given this genetic test that she wasn't able to metabolize that drug properly at the dosage that she was prescribed. And so she then displayed adverse reactions. So with this test, they were able to immediately adjust her dosage to be appropriate for the rate at which she metabolizes the substance. So it's a good story attesting to why it's important to both monitor medication and also provide the DNA test. Ancillary opportunity for this test include an upcode, as mentioned before, and the additional visit where the physician will need to read the results to the patient in a following visit. So the physician earns a follow-up visit, and they also get to upcode, they get to bill at the next level, in other words. So again, this needs the first three forms that we went through. I'm going to go over the DNA test requisition form with you at this time. That's here. So the DNA test requisition form, make sure again that it's signed by every patient, okay, which is right here, patient signature. Make sure that the medical necessity section is filled out. The first part indicates why he's ordering the test. Is it because the patient isn't responding to medications that he's been prescribed, or because there's a warning label? She'll also need to indicate how they're going to apply the results to the patient care regimen right here. So otherwise, insurance won't cover. So if either of these two are left blank, insurance will never ever cover it. So we need to make sure that the physician knows that they need to check these. So the doctor can choose which panel he'd like. For example, if she's a psychiatrist, she can mark a complete psychiatry panel, as indicated here, and a general practitioner may want to do a comprehensive genetic panel, which you can mark here. So this is a once-in-a-lifetime test. Patients take this once ever, so this is a case where the physician probably won't, after the first few months, be doing a whole lot once he tests his current panel. So we'll go over what the test results for this look like in just a moment. But again, the physician gets to upcode this and he gets to have the additional visit. And pharmacogenetics, I already went over that. All right, so medication monitoring. This has become the standard of care for clinicians who are prescribing narcotics and controlled substances. So the health practitioners need to be assured of three things before and after medications are begun. First, is the patient taking similar meds from another source? Are they using illicit substances that will show adverse reactions with whatever it is that the doctor's trying to prescribe? And thirdly, are medications that the doctor's prescribing being taken by the patient, or are they being diverted or otherwise being sold on the street? As you know, there are a lot of problems with controlled substances being diverted. Okay, so again, the same three forms, and then we'll go over the tox requisition form and the custom order toxicology forms right now. So the custom order form looks like this. It's for if the doctor would like to create a custom panel. If the doctor specializes in pain treatment, for example, he may want to always screen for opiates. So here you can see that he can check the box, number 1. We suggest that he check also presumptive screening and confirmation so that if the patient is being prescribed a medication and tests negative for it, the doctor will be notified. This way he knows that the medication isn't being diverted and he's doing his due diligence. So classic opiates down here you'll see, number 1, it'll always test for these classic opiates. So rather than having to check each and every one of these on the requisition form, he can just say, I want to check all opiates, I want to check all antidepressants, I want to check all amphetamines, and then that will allow him to, instead of checking, see here for antidepressants there's 16, so it just makes it quicker and easier for him to do that. The requisition form, if the doctor has filled out a custom order form and he wants to choose the panel he already indicated, he can choose the first box here, use custom test order. If he wants to do a specialized testing for his patient, he can choose the second box. If he chose box 2, he'll need to mark the exact drugs he'd like to screen for, and he'll need to indicate whether he would like presumptive screening and confirmation or confirmation only. Again, we suggest presumptive screening as well. This way, if the patient's being prescribed a medication and test negative, the doctor will be notified. So here he'll need to mark everything that he wants. And then C is specimen validity. He'll need to indicate that the temperature was between 90 and 100 and that the temperature was read at least within 4 minutes from taking the test. Point of care. This is if the doctor chooses to use point of care cups. A point of care cup is for on-the-spot positive and negative results. It's only about 60% accurate on average, but it is good for if the doctor's patient is, for example, going into surgery that day. It'll be good to make sure that the patient isn't testing positive for a substance that can interact with anesthesia, etc. So it's a good little on-the-spot sort of, I mean, again, it's not very accurate. It's about 60% accurate, but it can, if the patient is showing positive for a controlled substance, then they might want to reschedule the surgery. The doctor can also make about $60 on average. It changes state to state, but around $60 extra per patient when billing. And so we can help with the coding for the POC cups. We'll help the doctor code for them, but we don't sell them, so the doctor will need to purchase them from an outside party. It runs at around $5 per cup, and we can suggest vendors for him, but again, we don't sell the POC cups. And E here is very important. He's going to want to indicate all prescribed medications so that the patient so that the inconsistencies can be read, so that we know what the patient is taking, so that inconsistencies can be reported. And if the patient is prescribed, for instance, diazepam, and they test negative, it may be an indication that they are diverting this medication, or maybe that they aren't metabolizing it properly, and they may need to be ordered a DNA test. Again, we need signature for everything. Okay. All right, and the fact that we are in-network and physician-owned is what gives you an edge over the competition. We do understand what physicians want when dealing with services such as ours, and that is that they don't lose existing patients because these patients are angry about receiving bills in the mail, they're angry about bad customer service, etc. So our lab takes care of customer service issues such as billing questions. They explain they'll be not sent to collections for portions uncovered by insurance. It's also good for you because you see higher payouts. It's not based on Medicare rates, it's based on hospital percentages. So that's good for you. You're going to see higher payouts. You also see payouts that are coming in 30 days instead of 90. So you're getting paid anywhere from 30 to 45 days after the physician sends out his tests. We have an in-house billing department, explains billing to the patient, as I just mentioned. We never ever send our patients to collections. There is an attempt to collect 3 times, and then whatever has been unpaid is written off. You're paid each month on what has been collected the previous month. And our biggest in-network competitors are LabCorp and LabQuest. And fortunately for you, these labs only offer DNA and toxicology, whereas, as you see, we offer multiple platforms. So there's little to no competition, as just mentioned. The deductibles out of network are much higher than in network as well, so they're going to be seeing much lower deductibles, which helps with the decreased number of upset patients calling the doctor. So if you're calling on a doctor who's already doing or who's already involved with a lab, you can ask him if he's experienced issues with his current lab. Usually they have. Just let them come up with their own problems, tell you the problems that they're having. Once you let him speak and talk about the problems that he's having with his lab, explain these advantages to the doctor and ask him if he'd be willing to give your lab a chance. There's no cost to the physician. We send him the supplies free of charge. There's no minimum. It's not like he has to be sending 10 tests a week or anything like that. He tests who he wants, when he wants. There's really no risk involved to getting started with our laboratories. So there are multiple ways to work in order to be successful in this role. I'm going to go over one way for those of you with less experience producing your own leads. So first of all, you'll need to be organized, obviously. Setting an appointment to follow up with someone and then forgetting it because of poor organization can mean the loss of a warm lead. And so if you don't have your own way of organizing them, we've created a spreadsheet for you, which is available in the portal under Sales Rep Tools and Sales Management Lead Tracker. Let me just show you that really quickly while we're talking about it. So basically, you're going to go into Sales Rep Tools, which is right here in the Sales Portal. And then you're going to go into Sales Management Lead Tracker. Okay, it'll pop this up. And then from there, you'll see this. All right, and this is a great way for you to track your leads. So we also have a qualifier script. Some use this, some don't. With the lab, since there are no qualifications and no minimums to participate, you can call on almost any practice. But for the DME programs, you can use this to make sure the practice has the right panel for participation first. So the qualifier script looks like this. You just call in, ask a couple of questions, and then you can keep track of them for when you need to call on people for the DME programs. So you can also call and try and schedule appointments to visit the doctor or the office manager, but this does make it easier for the person on the other end of the phone to tell you that they're not interested. And those of you who have any experience in sales know that this is true. Showing your face will make that less easy for them, and it also shows that you're serious. You can use directories such as WebMD and Doctor Directory to search for physicians in your area by practice and type location. I will show you that really quickly as well. WebMD, you're going to go to the website. You're going to go to Find a Doctor. Don't check your symptoms online. That's never good, unless you want to be told that you're going to die instantly. So you're trying to find a neurologist in Nevada, in Las Vegas. And so these are the neurologists in Las Vegas. So you can go through this. We also have Doctor Directory. You search. So this is what it'll look like when you bring up the page. You go to this option, I'm looking for a healthcare provider. And then it brings you to the directory and you can do the same search. It's by location, by specialty, etc. All right, so I think we covered everything here. All right, so we should be ready to begin training for the device programs starting the 5th of February. While we make improvements, the second video training will be available after the 5th. Some of these will need to be it'll need to be one-on-one, and you'll need to take a certification test for it. But we'll send you all of the notifications for that. Now let's go through the sales portal just a little bit more to give you an idea of what's in there for you. All right. So this is what the sales portal looks like when you first open it up, as most of you have seen. Here's the lab marketing. We have a flyer for the lab that you can leave behind when you visit. You can put all of your information here. This is the editable version, so it'll download and you can put all of your information in there. This is the lab brochure, which looks like this, that you can also leave behind. Okay, again, you can put your information for the physician to contact you. And then we have, these are the, you print this out to show your prospects how we protect and inform their patients. So when we were talking about the advocacy program, it explains the benefits. It explains that it's not a bill. It's just a statement of services. This way the doctor doesn't get the angry calls. Okay. Please direct any billing questions to the Sun Clinical Laboratory Billing Department. See the number below. The services will be provided. So they'll work with you in any way to ensure that this is affordable for your budget. So this is nice for the doctor to be able to offer to his patients when he's testing them. And here's the other side. Why are you receiving a drug test today? So the urine drug testing is it explains why they're being drug tested, basically. All right. And back to the main page. Paperwork, we went through everything. This is what it looks like. The asterisks here These are the 3 that are needed for every new client onboarding. Lab FYI. This shows the allergen zones. It's nice you can leave this behind for physicians who are interested in the allergy services. Okay. And the new lab information, this is just a compilation of some of the lab information just for your information. Okay. Sample EOBs for toxicology, blood, and DNA. Then we have lab doctor information. So this is what the reports look like. For example, the DNA report looks like this. So this is what the doctor sees and what he goes over with the patient. Here you'll see the guidance levels. Red flag means that this medication has potentially reduced efficacy or increased toxicity, or the patient has an increased risk for the indicated condition. So this is bad, this is okay, and this is good. You don't really need to know how to read the tests. The doctor's not going to expect that of you, but it is nice to be able to show him. You know, you'll be able to determine if your patient is a poor metabolizer of a certain. This shows the genes, the genotype. So you can just leave that behind for the doctor. This is the toxicology report. So here you'll notice it tells, here's the consistent and inconsistent, when we were saying that the doctor should probably get both the positives and the negatives. So here the patient is showing consistency with the prescribed medications. The patient was prescribed amphetamines and was tested positive, so they're taking this medication as directed. Here, it's showing inconsistencies. So the patient was prescribed this medication and it's not detected, which means that either the patient is diverting the medication, they're just not taking it, or they're not metabolizing it properly. And here it's showing us inconsistencies as well. These medications have not been prescribed and they're detected. So the patient is taking methamphetamines and antidepressants recreationally. So that's what that looks like. And then we have the allergy sample report. Again, you don't need to know how to read this. Just print them off to show the physician. If you happen to call on a physician and they're interested in the DNA testing, it'll be nice to have the sample report to show him, and then you can just tell him that you will send him a copy to his email, get his email address from him, and then you have his email address as well. So this is a lab presentation from the lab. They're not very good at marketing, which is why we're here. But so I wouldn't suggest really showing this, but it's there for you if you want it. Okay. And then the sales rep tools we went through. So basically we have here for you the independent sales business card, front and back. Put all your information here. Okay. We have the qualifier script, which we went over, our information. This is our contact information for our staff. We have the lead tracker, which we went over. It's for you to organize all of your leads. And then we have MedTech Corp business card templates if you'd like a business card with our logo on it. We have webinars every Wednesday night. So it's every Wednesday night at 6 p.m. Eastern Time. If we're not going to have a webinar on any specific week, then we will send you an email letting you know. But generally this is to announce any new product launches or any changes in compliance that you need to know, things like that. So just check here for new webinars. If you're unable to make the live, it's nice to be able to go to the live webinars because you can ask questions right then and there and hear other people's questions. But if you're unable to make it, then we post them right here. And then we have marketing tips for you, how to market to doctors, how to talk to the office manager, get past the gatekeeper, and things like that. So basically, if there are any questions that you have at any time, you can give me a call. I'm here in the office from around 9 a.m. Eastern Time till about 6 p.m. Eastern Time. You can give me a call if you have any questions. If you happen to be calling on a doctor and he has questions that you can't answer, you can give me a call. I can also give live webinars to your physician if you're able to go in and see a physician and he wants you to make an appointment to come back and would like to see a presentation on our lab or any other programs, then just let me know and I can set that up for you. But basically, this is my contact information. You can get a hold of me at any time. If it's not during business hours, send me an email or just leave me a voicemail and I'll be able to get back to you right away. So thank you for joining us, and I really hope that you are very successful. Your success is our success, so we really want you to be successful. So please call me at any time, and good luck out there.